You have permission to review your report if you are unable to answer the question directly to help refresh your recollection.
Thank you.
And Ms. Rivas, as part of the strangulation exam, do you, you indicated that you do a head-to-toe exam, but you also testify that you would ask the patient about their symptoms and concerns. As part of, in addition to those things, do you also ask the patient to sort of describe in their own words about what happened during a strangulation episode?
Yes.
And what is the purpose of asking the patient about having them relate to you what had occurred?
To help drive my exam and the areas that I need to focus on.
Okay. And in this case, did you ask Fatima to sort of describe to you in her own words what she remembered happening?
Yes.
Okay. And did she in fact tell you what had occurred during the incident?
Yes.
Okay. And if you could, would it please, well, let me ask you this. What did Fatima tell you about what had occurred during the alleged strangulation incident?
She told me a lot, but
Ms. Rivas, I'm specifically asking you about what Fatima indicated occurred that resulted in, if any, pressure applied to her neck.
she reported to me that she was grabbed by her sweatshirt and placed in a headlock.
Okay, and did she indicate who grabbed her by her sweatshirt and placed her in the headlock?
Yes.
And who was that?
Her dad.
Okay. And what did she say? Did she tell you what happened after being placed in a headlock by her dad?
That she lost consciousness.
Okay. Does she tell you anything else that she remembers seeing or hearing?
Could you elaborate on that question?
Sure. So you indicated that she was grabbed by her sweatshirt and that she was placed in the headlock, and you indicated she lost consciousness. Did she say anything else about what she remembers seeing right before, or right after losing consciousness?
She reported that she felt dizzy.
Okay.
She reported some numbness.
Okay. Did she also indicate anything about what had occurred with her mom as part of the strangulation exam?
Yes.
And what did she say?
She said that her mom grabbed her, put her hands on her neck.
Okay. And did Fatima indicate to you that when her mom did that, what, if anything, does she do?
She asked her to stop.
Okay. And Ms. Rivas, you testified that as part of the exam, you will ask the patient about any reported symptoms they have. In this case, did you ask Fatima whether she had a headache at any point?
Yes.
And what was her response?
Yes. She had a headache.
Okay, and did she indicate whether she had the headache during the alleged strangulation, afterwards, or during the time of the exam?
May I reference my...
Yes.
You may.
Oh, sorry, Your Honor.
She reported a headache after.
Okay. And what about feeling dizziness or lightheaded? Did you ask Fatima whether she felt dizzy or lightheaded at any point?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She reported she felt dizzy and lightheaded after.
Okay. And when you say after, are you referring to after the alleged incident?
Correct.
Okay. And then did you also ask Fatima whether or not she had loss of consciousness during the incident?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She reported she lost consciousness during the incident, yes.
Okay. And then what about any memory loss? What does she report about memory loss, if any?
She reported that she was having some memory difficulties
During the incident, afterwards, or during the time of the exam?
during the incident.
Okay. And what if, did she provide you with any other details about memory loss during the incident?
May I?
You may. You have ongoing permission
Ongoing,
to refer
okay.
to your report.
Thank you. She reported fuzzy feeling like her whole life was flashing before her eyes.
Okay. And then what about confusion or agitation? Does she report having any confusion as part of this incident?
Yes,
And what was her response?
she had confusion during and after.
Okay. And what about any weakness or numbness? Does she report any weakness or numbness as part of this incident?
Yes,
And what was her response?
she had weakness and numbness during the strangulation.
Okay. And what about vision changes?
Yes,
And what was her response?
that she had visual changes during the exam. That everything was getting darker and darker.
Okay. And when you say, what, I'm trying to see clarification, you indicated that Fatima indicated that she had vision changes during the exam?
I'm sorry, during the strangulation. Correction.
And did she report whether she had any blood coming from her ear, nose, or mouth?
She did not report any, and I did not observe any.
Okay. And then what about any ringing in her ears?
She did report ringing in her ears after the strangulation.
Okay. And then what about neck pain? Did she report having any neck pain?
Yes,
And what was her response?
she had neck pain during, after, and at the time of the exam.
Okay. And then did she report whether she had a sore throat as it relates to the incident?
She did.
And what was her response?
That she had a sore throat after and at the time of the exam.
Okay. And what about any difficulty swallowing?
She reported that she had difficulty swallowing after and during the exam.
Okay. And did she report whether she had any pain with swallowing as it relates to this incident?
Yes,
And what was her response?
she did have it after and during my exam.
Okay. And then what about any voice changes or hoarseness?
She did have hoarse changes and voice, yes.
Okay. And was that, at what point did she have the voice change or hoarseness in her voice?
She reported after.
Okay. And then does she report whether she had any hyperventilation as part of this incident?
Yes, she did.
And what was her response?
After the strangulation.
Okay. And what about difficulty breathing? Does she report having any difficulty breathing?
Yes, she did report difficulty breathing.
Okay. Was it at what point?
After and during our exam.
And when you say after, are you referring to after the exam or after the incident?
After the incident.
Okay. And then does she indicate whether she had pain in any other areas of her body?
She reported pain on her left shoulder and her left hip.
Okay. Believe that they have been strangled. Do you also ask some questions about, from their own standpoint, the sort of the level of pressure that they felt that was applied to their neck area?
Yes.
Okay. And when you ask the question, is the estimated level of pressure on a scale, or how is that? How do you ask about that question?
It's based on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the worst.
Okay. And then, did you ask Fatima that question?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She said it was a 5 out of 5.
Okay. And did she indicate what her estimated length of time was as it relates to the pressure that was applied to her neck?
I'm going to reference my notes. She said about 5 minutes.
Okay. And as part of that examination process, does she, you ask her questions about, ask her related to her dad, does she also make any statements about what, if anything, her mom did to her during the incident?
That she put her hands on her neck.
Okay. And did she also indicate what she was feeling or thinking was going to happen to her during the alleged strangulation?
She thought she was,
Overruled.
she thought she was going to die.
Okay. And Ms. Rivas, you talked about earlier with regards to the strangulation exam that part of it involves sort of a visual head-to-toe exam. Did you do that in this case with Fatima?
Yes.
Okay. And did you also document your observations in your report?
Yes.
Okay. And when you did the examination, well, let me ask you this question. When Fatima first arrived at the ER, did she have clothes on?
Yes.
Okay. And then as part of the examination process, was her clothes left on, or did they have to come off?
No, I asked my patients to put a gown on, a hospital gown.
And you testified that as part of the head-to-toe exam, you described the process in which you would conduct the head-to-toe exam. Did you follow that same procedure and process in this case with Fatima?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what, if any, observations did you make regarding her face or her head or scalp area?
That she had some injuries.
Okay, and what were some of your observations?
She had some red spots on her face and neck, small red spots, and
Okay.
some abrasions.
Okay, and what are abrasions?
They're superficial injuries in the skin.
Okay. When you say superficial injuries, like, are we talking about, is that a bruise, is that a cut, is that a scrape?
Usually it would be considered like a scratch or a scrape. That
Okay. And based on your training experience with regards to strangulation, what can cause, during a strangulation episode, what can cause abrasions to the body?
they can be caused by an object or like the friction between the skin due to grabbing
Okay.
or the pressure applied.
Okay. And what about her shoulder area? Did you know any injuries to her shoulder area?
She had an abrasion on her shoulder.
Okay. And what about her neck area and under her chin?
She had an abrasion there as well.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was besides the examination that you conducted as part of Fatima's stay at the emergency room on October 18th, were further testing ordered for her?
Yes.
And what were some of those testing as it relates to the strangulation incident?
A head and neck CT.
Okay, what's a CT?
It's a scan.
Okay. And after the exam, was Fatima released from the hospital right away?
No.
Okay. And do you know whether she stayed at the hospital overnight or was she released like 3 or 4 hours later?
I believe she stayed a few days.
Okay. And you indicated that you've conducted more than one strangulation exam. Are all patients who arrive at the emergency room indicating that they may have been strangled? Do they all stay overnight or for a few
Objection,
days?
Your Honor. Irrelevant.
Sustained.